This is a video about a really common problem on the Delica L400. My experience is with the Series 2. I'm not sure if this is the same on the Series 1. But the issue is when you roll the window up, sometimes it will roll back down again on you. Usually when it's minus 30 out and the window's all frosted up and you really wish your windows were up, I will just quickly demonstrate this for you. And that is what it looks like. So this, if you've never seen this problem, then don't worry about it. Just keep this in the back of your mind in case you ever run into this issue. What this actually is it's a safety feature called anti-trap. So in case your kid or your dog gets their head in here and starts to raise the window, then when the glass is pushing their head up into the door frame, the mechanism will detect this and it will back the glass back down again and give you a chance to get your head out of the window. Unfortunately, as the years have gone by, this is a 26-year-old van, the amount of friction and drag within the overall mechanism has increased to the point that it can now detect just the window going up under normal conditions as being a trap situation. And so I'm sure you've learned how that you can grab it with your hand and drag it up. I have the benefit of having a parts van, and some of our vans had this problem very, very severely. So I took apart the door and studied the mechanism, and I tried to approach this from just lubricating the slides where the windows go up and down, lubricating the scissor mechanism in here that pushes all this up and down. And no matter what I did, I could not decrease the friction. So I was looking for a different solution. This is actually implemented. There's a 12-volt brush DC motor which runs your scissor up and down. And there's a motor controller built into your armrest here. And this motor controller has a 12 amp current limit. So once the motor is drawing more than 12 amps, it will detect that that's too much torque, because amps is proportional to torque. And it will detect that as a trap, and it will go back down again. I looked at a bunch of different solutions, and it turns out that there is a fix for this. As far as I can tell, when the window is all the way down, there's a switch down in the bottom that detects that it's right near the bottom of its travel, and it will ignore the anti-trap logic, and it won't trigger the anti-trap if it thinks the window is right down at the bottom. I did this to all of our vans 2 years ago, and many of my friends have done this to their windows as well, have done this fix that I'm about to show you. And I've never seen any kind of other side effect to the logic of how this whole thing works. Everything else seems to work correctly. It's just that the window will not have this safety feature of backing down again. Now, enough talking about it. Let me show you how this is actually done, how you fix this. There's a screw down in the bottom of this handle. I have taken the screw out. It's just a simple Phillips. And then we pop this back and up. You will probably decide to unplug this connector right here so you can have this out of the way. And then down in the bottom, usually behind this piece of plastic, there's a white connector connected to the door frame. This connector has actually been broken loose and it's now just hanging there. And it's quite tricky on the passenger side door because the latch will be down, so you need to get your fingers underneath of all of this and squeeze the latch, and then you just pop it apart and you're done. Now we're just going to reattach this here and slide it forward. And now it will never, ever do your anti-trap thing. It just keeps pushing. On the driver's side, it's the same. It just has that single screw in the bottom. The connector itself is easier to unplug because the latch is right side up. There's a few more connectors on all of this, but it's very, very similar process. So keep that in mind. Pretty much everybody that I show this fix to has ran into this issue, and they're all happy to unplug those connectors.